Candid, captivating, compelling. Welcome to Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina. Listen in as Dr. Dina, medical marijuana pioneer and inspiration for the award-winning TV series Weeds, shares never-before-heard stories, chats with cannabis insiders and celebrity friends, and provides invaluable perspective and insight into one of the fastest-growing industries in the world. CannabisRadio.com proudly presents Cannabis Confidential with your host, Dr. Dina.
Welcome to Cannabis Confidential. I'm your host, Dr. Dina. Thank you again for joining us. I have an incredible show today and a really inspiring guest. As we know, cannabis is a fabulous alternative to prescription pain pills. For people who are addicted to pain pills, to alcohol, to all sorts of drugs, I've seen people basically completely transform their lives by using cannabis and stopping using their drugs, alcohol, prescription pills. I have had friends overdose from drug use, prescription pain pills that their doctors prescribe to them. And over time, they stop working and you start wanting to use more. And today we have an incredible guest who has really inspired me, and I believe is going to inspire all of you to understand how cannabis can transform someone's life. Today we have Sarah Bofinger. Sarah was born with hip dysplasia, which is a disorder where her femur did not correctly sit within her hip joint. She had required multiple surgeries, at least 6 before she was 3 years old, which is just terrifying as a parent to think about, but to really go through your beginning stages of life, being casted, going through pain and surgeries, it's so horrible. And before she was the age of 3, she went through all this and she started swimming before she was able to walk. And I would imagine this is a lot to do with physical therapy. And she developed this amazing love for swimming. And she imagined doing something amazing with her life, maybe going out and winning the Olympics. I mean, this is something that children dream about. And her last hip surgery came when she was about 15. She was given a morphine pump to recover. And as you all know, morphine is probably one of the strongest drugs out there, and how you can function as an adult taking morphine, everyone knows you can't. Well, as a 15-year-old, how do you really function at all? How do you keep your friends? How do you go to school? But this is what doctors felt was the best for her. And it's really sad because when I look at the world today and I see parents bringing their children to me who have ailments that only something that morphine would help, and they're finding that they're using cannabis oil and it's changing their children's lives. It's really incredible. So all of a sudden, you have this happy child who's been gone through basically hell her whole life. She has excitement for this sport that's brought her happiness, yet she found herself addicted to alcohol and pain pills by the age of 20. And this girl went through so much, and she essentially, the alcohol, the pills, it takes over you. It changes the way that you think. It reroutes the way your brain operates. And she probably was, depressed. She gained weight. She stopped swimming. She lost her job. She decided, she's going to do something incredible. And she got back into the pool and she lost weight. She got into the best shape of her life. And then she announced that she was going to train for the 2020 Olympics. She got off of her alcohol, that she was drinking the painkillers, and she started using cannabis. And the reason why this is so important is this is the first time that Sarah is coming out to talk about her cannabis use. And the fact that she's using this for training to be in the Olympics is so incredible and so inspiring. And so many people out there should be touched by this story. What's more incredible is that she started using cannabis strategically with her training, including testing different strains and how it would affect her performance. As everyone does in the dispensaries, you kind of have to try out different things to see what's your best fit. So now, not only is she not taking alcohol and prescription pills, but she's using cannabis and she's training and she's crushing. I like this. This was actually the word that she used in her bio. She's crushing her previous times and ready to get serious. She wants to train full time, and she wants to tell everyone about this authentic story that she has in her special way, that she's a cannabis supporter and she would not be able to compete at the level that she's at without it. But she's also a cannabis enthusiast. She has used cannabis not just for physical treatment, but spiritual as well. And she wants to take this to the East Coast where she lives so that more people can realize that cannabis is not the devil's drug, that it's something really special. And so today we have Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. I am so excited to have you on.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this is really special. Your story is really incredible and so inspiring. And I just don't understand how you can have such a positive outlook on life after going through what you went through.
Yeah, I mean, it's really almost shocking to me, but I honestly believe that I went through this so now I can have this amazing experience that is going to happen for me.
So tell me more about your introduction to cannabis.
Well, the first time I actually used cannabis was about 17, and, I was just kind of dabbling around with it. And then I really enjoyed how it made me feel. But
can you describe, you made you feel like, was it mental or was it physical?
It was more physical at first because that was when I got into the pain pills and the alcohol. And so I didn't really actually notice what the cannabis was doing for me at that time. And it was then in 2012 when I actually really started using the cannabis for mental, for my focus into my training, as well as the physical. And I found that I didn't actually need to use ibuprofen or, any kind of over-the-counter prescription drugs.
That's incredible. It's incredible. I really am a strong believer that all cannabis use is actually medicinal use, and that you might not look like you need to use cannabis, but there's some reason. Everyone has something. And I really, truly believe that. And so I really hope that more people have access to this. And where you live, do you have medical? Do you have access to dispensaries?
No, where I live, I do not have access. But tonight in DC, they will be legalizing it for recreational use, adult use.
It's really incredible how it's changed so much since when I first got involved in the industry. And it was very much a gray area. Now it's so interesting to see how everyone is kind of jumping aboard. But the thing that holds us back is the pharmaceutical companies. And clearly they are probably very, very concerned that this plant is going to come in between their profits with their pills. And it's scary because I know a few people that work as pharmaceutical sales reps. And I've told this story before. And a lot of these girls are very, very attractive. I mean, they could be models, and they walk into these doctors' offices in sexy outfits, and they flirt with the doctors, and they offer them vacations to Hawaii and things like that if they prescribe enough of this certain pill. And so it's creating a conflict for patients to be treated correctly. Now, were your doctors just really quick to put you on pain pills and painkillers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in actually 2013, I was in my worst pain where, I thought that I was actually, losing my hip bone. I thought something was physically actually going wrong with me. I went to the doctor. I got an x-ray. Of course, everything was fine. And he then tells me, just, take some glucosamine. Take some ibuprofen or some Advil and, you'll be okay. And I just kept thinking, I'm like, no, there has to be another answer. Why do I want to just keep putting these pills? And it gets to the point where you have to take so many of them because they don't actually work after you start using them every day.
That's insane. In fact, do you know that most of opioids, painkillers, or combinations of benzo and opioids represent probably 2.5 million emergency room visits a year to hospitals because people, they're overdosing. The doctors are prescribing this so easily. And it's really scary that they just are so quick to say, take a pill, take a pill, take a pill. And that's their answer because they don't know about cannabis. So hopefully they're going to learn more and start feeling more comfortable to recommending it. It's happening, but it's slow. And it's up to us to discuss it with our doctors because without that, they don't know. They don't hear it from someone. So you have a job to go back to your doctors and let them know how this is affecting you positively. And everyone who's listening needs to do the same thing. Don't be afraid to discuss it with your doctor. Your doctor's not going to tell on you. Your doctor has to treat you. And this is part of treating you. So we're going to take a short break because this is a really good conversation. But don't go away. We'll be right back. We're going to be joined by Sarah Bofinger. We're going to have this awesome conversation about cannabis as an alternative to prescription pain pills and inspiring you to reach out and strive for really the highest thing you could do, the Olympics. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
The next generation of vaporizers has arrived. Vuber vaporizers are blazing the way with unparalleled technology for oil, concentrate, or dry flower pens. Providing unsurpassed customer service and expert craftsmanship, Vuber vaporizers use cutting-edge technology, providing a power-packed, smoother vapor with a lifetime guarantee. Experience vaporizing the way it was meant to be, the Vuber way.
Great websites today need expert web design and development and need to be e-commerce ready and mobile friendly. But building a marketable and profitable website can be an uphill climb. Ready to make your new website or replace your existing website? Think Orange as the new way to get in the black. Orange Hill Development works with Fortune 500 companies and offer the same top quality development service at a fraction of what other providers charge. Brands like Absolute, Carlsberg, and Nestea trust Orange Hill Development. Find out why you should trust your website with Orange Hill. Contact Orange Hill for a consultation today at orangehilldevelopment.com. Doc Rob, the concierge for better living.
Cannabis is just one of the many great plants that we have on this planet called Earth that we can use consciously and intelligently to improve our well-being.
Take a real, raw, inside look at healthier living while sharing great ideas and improvements for a better quality of life.
Learning to live and live well is a lifelong process. This is a journey. You could be 80 years old or 8 years old. You can still learn something that's going to make tomorrow a little bit healthier, a little bit easier, a little bit happier, a little bit better.
The Concierge for Better Living with Doc Rob. Only on CannabisRadio.com.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Welcome back to Cannabis Confidential. All right, we have Sarah Bofinger. She is training for the 2020 Olympics. This is so exciting. And she is a cannabis supporter. This is her outing of being a cannabis supporter to our world. So I want us all to welcome her. Really quickly, Sarah, where can people find you online?
They can search for me at getsuperstarfit.com or any Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, GetSuperstarFit.
Beautiful. All right. We're going to definitely check that out. Everyone go and check her out after the show. Give us a like. Give her likes. Follow her. She is really going to inspire so many people. You have people like Michael Phelps. This is a perfect example. You know, you see pictures of him. He's got more medals on his chest than I've seen anyone wear. I mean, looks like Mr. T. And he uses cannabis, and instead of embracing it, he ran from it. And it was about, I think, for him, losing a lot of sponsorships. But nowadays, it's time for people to embrace it. So how do you feel about, do you think this is going to affect you trying out for the Olympics?
Well, the possibility could be that, it could affect me to going to the Olympics. But the belief that I have is that by the time that I am actually going for the Olympics, that it will be legal and people will realize that they would actually have even more athletes that maybe are injured or have something that, cannabis actually helps them use, and they will understand it a little bit better, when the time comes for me.
Exactly. Will you plan on using cannabis if you do make it to the Olympics?
Yes.
Are you afraid of drug testing?
No, I'm not afraid of drug testing. I mean, this is really why I'm coming out now in 2016, an Olympic year, so that, people know. I mean, I could risk everything, or I could, I don't know really the possibility. But for me, I want to be my authentic self, and my authentic self has had 7 hip surgeries, and I use cannabis, and cannabis has helped me just so much that I can't even, explain. And I want everyone to know.
I have so much respect for you for this, because it's really, I myself have been outed in the media, and I didn't even do it myself. It was Snoop Dogg outing me for being the real Nancy Botwin. And I was really nervous and scared. So it's a scary feeling, kind of almost like if you have a nightmare that you're showing up to school naked or you're at the mall naked. You're very exposed. Do you feel any of that?
Oh, yes, of course I do. But like I said, I mean, I just feel that this could just be bigger if I can just make that step. I could be that person that isn't afraid, that is just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this no matter what. I mean, who knows what could happen, but I'm excited.
This is incredible. How much would you say you would smoke every day, or what kind of strains? I want people to know more information, because they're probably at home listening going, I want to start training in the gym. What's going to work for me?
Well, right now, my favorite one to use before I actually train is the Master Kush. I really feel that for me, it really gets my mind just zoning for what I need to do. So it's like, because sometimes, like for instance, in Maryland, the weather changes like crazy. And so I do sometimes feel, arthritis pain, but how can I get out of that arthritis pain so that I can train and push myself to the maximum? And so I have found that the Master Kush has really gotten me driven so that I can push myself to that next limit and be able to crush my times constantly.
That's incredible. I actually use indica as well before I have to work out, when I do work out, which is not as often as I should. But I notice that if I work out without it, the amount of pain I'm in is just excruciating. And when I do use it, it's like it's there, but it's faint. It's almost like as if I took an Advil or, an ibuprofen before working out. Yet I feel like my head is in like a happy place and doesn't mind like wanting to push more.
Oh, yeah, totally. I feel the same way. It really just kind of eliminates those voices of you being like, I can't really do this right now. You don't even think that. You're in the zone and you just push through.
How does your family feel about this?
Well, my family, they're not really okay with this. They don't really understand, the plant, because it's not really, not many people really understand what this can do, or they do the research. Me, I've done a lot of research. I've found my own experimental testing and just how I feel about it. And that's really why I, want to help the people to understand, what this can do and how powerful this plant really is.
We have a lot of work to do. Unfortunately, there's so much reefer madness that was put out back in the day that, the older generation was raised thinking, that it's the devil's weed, that you smoke it and you're going to go to jail, or it turns you into a bad person, or you become a loser. And so much of that just doesn't exist. If you're a lazy person and you smoke weed, you're going to be a lazy person. If you are someone who's motivated and you smoke weed, you're going to be a motivated person who smokes weed. And that is 100% the truth. And a lot of people just don't see that. And they see that maybe the people that choose to use cannabis are not the ones that are the most successful, because the most successful ones don't talk about it. And so that's why it's so important that people like you come out and really show the world that, hey, I'm not who you would think uses it, but look at me. I had a hard time breaking through to my parents, my in-laws, to people around me, my neighbors, and it's taken years, but over time now they've seen that there's a softer side to it. And I think more women are the key here. I think that women show a softer side and we're not threatening and we can be successful. And so I think it's so important. Do you ever talk to your friends about it?
Yeah, I talk to my clients about it because I am also a personal trainer. I own Superstar Fitness. And, I talk with them about how it really helps with the mind and the physical aspect of it. And for me, it's really helped me be able to go from like 2-hour training days to now like 4 to even 7 hours of training my body.
Wow.
And actually not even getting sore.
That's incredible.
And the next day. I could do this 4 or 5 days in a row. The cannabis, I feel, is really helping with also my recovery of my muscles.
I do believe that. And I've heard that from so many people. In fact, I had a friend that fell off a balcony, like a 2-story balcony, and he landed on his head. And the doctors told us that had he not been using cannabis oil in the amounts that he was using, and then when he got out of the hospital, continued to use it, he probably would have major brain damage. And so I really do think it protects your muscles. I think it protects your nerves, your cells, your brain. And it's something that everybody one day will be part of our daily vitamin.
Yes, I truly believe that.
I love that. And maybe in our protein powders.
Yes. How amazing would that be?
Yeah, I think we have something here. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Sarah Bofinger. She is trying out for the Olympics in 2020. This is really awesome. So stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
Ganjapreneur.com, your guide to the cannabis business world. Ganjapreneur.com is a comprehensive resource for cannabis professionals and entrepreneurs. Download the Ganjapreneur app on your smartphone or tablet to catch up on cannabis industry news, scroll through our daily job listings, and learn about successful cannabis companies, executives, and investors. Ganjapreneur.com, helping ganjapreneurs grow.
Dr. Dabber, hurry! Its temperature is shooting past 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's burning up.
I'm afraid for this little guy, it's just too late.
What caused the problem?
Only Dr. Dabber can maintain the perfect temperature for a smooth-tasting, slower burn. This standard vaporizer lost all of its health benefits, sending it up in smoke.
So you're telling me that most vapor pens burn so hot they produce smoke, not vapor?
Correct. Keep away from those standard vaporizer pens and turn to Dr. Dabber. Doctor's orders.
Less heat, more flavor.
Growing green to generate more green.
Hello to all you happy herbalizers, smiling trippy hippies, and everyone who believes in freedom and tolerance. This is The Grow Show, and I'm Kyle Cushman.
From food to fuel, from remedy to resource.
Welcome my guest, Ed Rosenthal, the guru of ganja. Let me ask you, right now I hear your lighter clicking. Are you smoking indoor or are you smoking sun-grown?
What am I smoking? I'm smoking concentrate.
Way to get out of the answer there. So you're truly like the king, right? You just clap your hands and somebody brings you a bowl and you're all set, right?
I wish that were the case.
The Grow Show with Kyle Cushman, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Thanks for waiting. We're back with Cannabis Confidential. I'm Dr. Dina, and we have Sarah Bofinger on the line. And we are going to discuss how the cannabis industry can step in and help make Sarah's dreams come true, and how we can all really make a name for ourselves and show that cannabis is not just the plant that people think has no medicinal value. It's not just for recreational use. It actually can help make someone's dreams come true. And Sarah, how can we all help you?
Well, I am looking for an Olympic coach at this point that supports cannabis. I need sponsorships. I want to make this my full-time job. So therefore, I want to do whatever I can to promote the cannabis industry with me, showing people with my workouts to just my daily life, even videoing me every day if they want to. I feel I really want to support this, and I want to be able to train full time.
I can only imagine seeing team, whatever company. It could be really great, actually. So this is your chance, you guys. If you want to get involved in something incredible, if you have a cannabis business and you want to sponsor something that is going to inspire hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, this is it right here. You can sponsor Sarah to make her dreams come true, get her a coach. What about your teammates? You were telling me before that your teammates don't know that you smoke?
No, they do not. So I'm currently on a master's swim team, and then I also swim with kids ages 13 to 18. So I can only imagine the parents thinking that, I'm going to just go and smoke with these kids. But, this is not really what it's about. It's about me using this to enhance my training for myself so that I can reach a goal that I never, ever thought that I could accomplish. So, I need a new team. I need to be somewhere where cannabis is supported all around, because where I'm at right now on the East Coast, cannabis is really not okay. I mean, they don't understand what it could do for someone and how it could change someone's life.
And they just see it for cancer or AIDS or children with seizure disorders. It's becoming so pigeonholed, but really it helps everyone. In fact, this is a great story. I got a flat tire a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, and I had to pull over in an awkward place, and a police officer pulled up alongside me just to make sure I was okay, and I had called the tow truck out. And I happened to be wearing a T-shirt for a dispensary that I go to a lot. and it's for Alternative Herbal Health Services in West Hollywood, OzWeHo. And the police officer looked at my shirt and went, "Oh, I know that place. My mom shops there." and the guy wasn't a young guy. I mean, he was kind of older. And I went, "Really? Your mom shops there?" He goes, "Oh, yeah. She buys these little medicated blueberries and it helps her with her arthritis. And she takes them with her to church. And, and she and all the women eat the little blueberries." He goes, "My mom's like a dealer at the church with her blueberries." And we were laughing about it. But when you look at it, it's like, here's a 75-year-old woman eating a medicated blueberry and it's making her feel better. Is this a crime? Whether you smoke a little bit of cannabis and then you are able to improve your performance while you're swimming and make you push further for your training. I mean, this is what everyone should have access to. And so we definitely have to keep fighting. Have you ever thought about moving out west where cannabis is a little more...
Yeah, I've thought about moving wherever. I mean, right now, I'm not attached to anything. I actually just recently had a breakup of 9 years, and I actually went through a depression state where I could actually have revolted back and went to alcohol and went to prescription drugs, and I didn't. I freaking pushed through. I pushed harder in my training, actually, and I was able to use cannabis to actually get out of that depressive state into really pushing into my spirituality.
Good for you. Good for you. It's actually a bad breakup for very many years that I kind of fell into the cannabis industry and it's myself. So it's interesting how sometimes just there's a force of nature that causes you to find something that's meant to be. And that's kind of how I see it, is you really do end up in life where you think you belong, and you clearly belong being a winner, and that's what you think you are, and good for you. And you could have taken a different route and been depressed and given up, and you didn't. And so thank you, Sarah, because that's just absolutely incredible that you've been able to fend off the devil that you've dealt with of all these surgeries and pains and drugs and alcohol and become a clean living person with cannabis in your life and really strive for amazing things. So thank you so much. You guys go follow her online.
Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. And make sure you guys go give us 5 stars. Let everyone know that you love our show and repost it, and let everyone know to check out Sarah, and let's find her some sponsors, because I would really like to see a weed logo, her bathing suit.
Let me tell you that I actually have a weed tattoo on my ankle.
Oh, I love it. I love you even more now. Well, thank you so much for staying on, you guys. You can follow me at drdina420.com. You can give us a like on Cannabis Confidential on Facebook, and check us out on Instagram and Snapchat, drdina420. Have a great day. I'd like to thank my producers. They are always making these shows amazing, and I wouldn't been able to do it without you guys. So thank you so much. And we're out. Thanks again, and join us for another edition of Cannabis Confidential.
The opinions expressed on this CannabisRadio.com program are those of the guests and hosts and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff and management of CannabisRadio.com. Any rebroadcast or redistribution without proper consent of CannabisRadio.com is prohibited.